Now, they just held a press conference moments ago saying the police are refusing to let any of the people zip-tied have any food or water. But they say they walked 200 miles in the heat to get here. They're not going anywhere. No, Governor Rauner said today if lawmakers fail to pass a budget by June 30th, he will keep them here until they do so. And now, as you can see behind me, the House is still in session where they are actually discussing that spending plan, but not actually voting on it. So there is still a lot of work to be done here and not a lot of time. Dawn?
Thanks, Michon. Just a question for you. Does this mean the state already has a junk bond status since they adjourned?
Well, not exactly, John. So Speaker Madigan did send a letter to the credit agencies asking them to hold off on downgrading our state. Now, we haven't heard back from the agencies if that will actually happen. But remember, it is a holiday weekend, so that could possibly buy us some time. Over the long holiday weekend, lawmakers took to finalizing the budget. So if the House does override Governor Rauner's veto, I've broken down what you need to know about the budget. It's a $36.1 billion budget that contains a mixture of cuts, revenue, and borrowing. The most talked about part is the income tax increase, which brings up the income tax to 4.95%.
This bill, this permanent 32% tax hike will be devastating. It will not solve our problems.
While the spending plan has received little attention, one key aspect is the school funding portion, which requires an evidence-based funding model for schools to get funding. While it may seem like a booby trap, Democrats say that's not so.
The exact same language is in there that it ties an evidence-based funding school model to funding for schools. So how can we put a trick on someone that they put in their own language?
This package will borrow money to help pay some of the $15 billion in backlogged bills, which Republicans don't agree with.
The borrowing and not paying any principal payments for 13 years, it was really a very irresponsible budget that passed.
But schools throughout the state are praising the passage.
Those legislators that did take that hard vote acted with integrity, courage, and fortitude to plan for the state of Illinois. It's not going to get fixed by just strictly cutting.
The House will be voting to override governor's veto tomorrow, and if it passes, it will be the first time in 3 years that Illinois will have a budget. Disappointing. That's what leaders are saying about the lack of a state budget.
Obviously, I'm disappointed we don't have a budget. It's very frustrating. We did work hard all session trying to do that.
Bitterly disappointed in what has happened these past 3 years, the failure of the Democrats in the House and Senate, their failure to work with us.
And on cue, the finger-pointing began.
The Republicans who we worked with, who we drafted their bills together with us, didn't vote for the bills. And so that's the disappointment.
Speaker Madigan has absolutely no intention whatsoever of changing a single solitary thing in this state.
The majority in the House knows darn well what's done, what needs to be done. They're not doing it.
There's a concern. They just don't have a high level of confidence in how the government is conducting itself.
And the cost of this deliberate inaction?
We're going to start to see some real pain now. We're going to start to see downgrades. We don't have any funding for schools. We don't have any funding for higher ed and a bunch of social programs. We don't have a budget.
It did not take long for the credit agencies to get word of Illinois lawmakers in action. S&P downgrading the state's general obligation bonds and Moody's following suit. Illinois now just one step above junk bond status. Michon Lindstrom, WAND News. Rocking out in solidarity.
Just call people's attention to it and that it's all about fairness.
CU Stands with Standing Rock held an all-day concert to call attention to the pipeline crisis in North Dakota.
This is a huge water issue. And not only is it just water, but it's what's happening to indigenous peoples.
This has been going on for, for quite a long time with the Native American issue there in North Dakota.
Raising money to help the Standing Rock Sioux tribe bring an end to the construction of the pipeline.
A pipeline is going to break. It's going to break. There's no doubt about it. And it's coming to Illinois. It's going to cross the Missouri, the Des Moines, the Mississippi, the Illinois, the Kaskaskia.
A project that could cause health hazards across the nation, including right here in Illinois.
What are we supposed to drink? And it's coming to Illinois. It's not, Illinois is not safe from this thing. So people think it's just North Dakota. It's not true. It's all our water.
Standing up with the tribe to do what they believe is right.
Human dignity, it's social justice, it's a sovereign nation, it's indigenous peoples that, you know, these pipeline companies don't care about. It's our water, just like it's their water, and you know, you pollute water somewhere and you pollute it everywhere.
Showing regardless where you are, your help matters.
They don't stop it up there. It's going to come to Illinois.
In Urbana, Michon Lindstrom, WAND News. The Central Illinois Food Bank provided 24,000 pounds of food to those in need today, seeing around 1,000 residents at their final healthy food distribution of the year. A gift of food just in time for the holidays.
The Illinois Department of Ag came through huge with us to be able to give people some healthy foods right before the holidays.
This time of year, folks are especially needing extra food for Christmas, for holidays. And so this is just a way for us to give back.
Central Illinois Food Bank held their final mobile food pantry of the year in Springfield.
The healthy food distribution is something that we like to do not just during this time of year, but 365 days a year. We like to be able to get people not just food, but healthy foods.
They're grateful all year round. Folks have a need for food. Obviously, we can't survive without it, so they're always been very grateful.
Providing a vital need to a population that may not have access.
Over 70% of people that access pantries actually have a health ailment, like hypertension, diabetes, high blood pressure, so they need these healthy foods to be able to help with those conditions.
Something that isn't possible without the help of volunteers.
My wife and I have been very fortunate, and we just want to give back, and it's the food bank's a great way to give back.
Including Governor Rauner himself, who was there briefly to help out.
He's not just going to come and shake hands. We're actually putting him to work. He's going to be handing out some oranges with the Lieutenant Governor. Also, Raymond Poe, the Director of the Department of Ag, is going to be here as well.
And the Central Illinois Food Bank is not sure when the next mobile food pantry will be held, but they're hoping to hold one in the near future. Michon Lindstrom, WAND News.